Hello! This is going to be my first sketchbook tour video. Yay! These are probably not going to be uploaded very frequently because it takes me a very long time to get through a sketchbook. I started this sketchbook in the beginning of 2023 and I just finished it in May of 2024. So it takes me a while to do traditional sketchbooks. In the past, like in 2019, I could get through 3 sketchbooks in a year. I might make a video going through my old sketchbooks because the way that I fill them now and my anatomy and so many things have changed. I think that would be kind of interesting to show off. But yeah, so this is the cover of my sketchbook. Kind of boring, I guess. I feel like I could have more stickers on it. I love all of these artists and all of these stickers. And then, just some extra ones that I'm like, I gotta get rid of these. Someone gave this to me as a gift at an event that I vended at. They just handed it to me. And then I have these Undertale monster stickers that I think are really cute. Then the back cover, more of a lot of the same kind of series I really like, or stickers that I just had kind of laying around that I needed to get rid of, kind of deal. So here we go. So you're going to see a lot of my original characters in this sketchbook. I don't know how in-depth I should go explaining my lore. I'm going to try to keep it easy to follow. This is Alice. She's also kind of like my mascot for my business. She's on all my business cards, my icon, everything. And she's the protagonist of my story. As her name would suggest, this is an Alice in Wonderland kind of spin-off story. All of my OCs have kind of motifs to characters in Alice in Wonderland. It's a little bit pulled from the lore of the 2010 Tim Burton movie, the lore of the Vocaloid song Alice of Human Sacrifice, the manga Pandora Hearts, and other various Alice in Wonderland media that I've consumed over the years. I won't get into the plot, but as more characters that I draw show up, I'll try to explain their relation to my protagonist, Alice. This is a page of drawings of Emmett Selk from Shadowbringers. He is my favorite fictional character of all time. I got incredibly into Final Fantasy XIV despite never playing a Final Fantasy game before, and he completely knocked me on my butt with how just incredible his writing is. It's a great game. You should play it. And then this opens up my other OCs. I'll get a little bit more into them in more in-depth pages, but this is Daisuke, this is Cheshire, this is Alice, this is Ace, this is Dimitri, and this is Jinx. And they are kind of my main focal group of OCs. I also have more that I draw, but these are the ones you'll probably see the most of. These are little post-it note doodles from when I worked at a real estate company, and I would take notes and sometimes I would just draw on them. And this is actually 2 pages in my real estate notebook that I ripped out when I was doodling in them. So that's the context behind these 2 pages. Flipping open my first 2 spread pages, which I was really happy with when I did these. So Ace is Alice's tutor, basically. He's a knight that works under the White Queen. He has a little bit of a crush on her, but Alice has a thing for this guy. His name is Daisuke, and he is the leader of basically the mafia equivalent in Wonderland. He's very flirty, the definition of pansexual, and he's involved in crime, and Ace is very not involved in crime, so he does not interacting with him at any capacity, and it annoys him, but he also kind of is but he is attractive a little bit. So they have kind of a love triangle situation going on. This is Cheshire. He is an ex-assassin who gives up being an assassin to help Alice. His whole thing is his family is put in hiding because they were being taken away to kind of get turned into these weapons to be used in the war that is going on. And his goal is to help Alice achieve her goal so the war can end, so he can free his family, or, feel like he was responsible for that. And this is Jinx. And Jinx is also an assassin. She and Cheshire have relationship kind of thing going on. And she's the polar opposite of Alice. Alice is very friendly, she's very gullible, she goes with the flow with a lot of things, and Jinx is very not that. And they don't see eye to eye in most situations, but they do kind of grow to respect each other and get closer as the story goes on. So yeah, that is like a very basic rundown of the ones you'll be seeing a lot. I'll try to add more context. Basically, this is the second page of my sketchbook. It's a little comic that takes place at the very beginning of my story, right after Alice and Dice Cave met the first time. He, like I said, is the leader of a criminal organization, and he's basically a mercenary in the sense of he just wants money. So he originally planned to kidnap her and basically sell her on the black market to the highest bidder, because she's a race of fae that is not common at all. None of them exist. And he's like, oh, I can make a lot of money off this chick. But then he starts to get a little woozy feeling around her and very like, oh, I actually don't want to do that. I really like her. I'm going to keep her all to myself. And then we're going to like create this crazy empire, which obviously is not healthy or good. But yeah, this is just a little comic. And I don't know if I mentioned, I do want to make this a comic. I had a webtoon 4 years ago. Yeah, 2020, I had a webtoon and I stopped because I was like, I am realizing now there are a lot of things about this that I do not have ironed out that I really would like to get ironed out. And I'm at a point now where like I have everything in place. So I'm going to try and get that started up again. This is just another page of mostly OC doodles. Daisuke and Alice, I draw them a lot. They are my muse. This little chibi Alice, because I really stink at chibi proportions, and I would really like to get better, so that was like me practicing that. This also was right at the turn of my art style changing a lot, and me changing the way that I like draw faces and the way that I draw expressions. So like the eye shapes that you see here are like, this is not how my art used to look like, and I try to do kind of more distinct eye shapes and stuff. So Cheshire and Jinx, they are gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, and I don't think he's manipulate. Well, I guess he is. He's kind of like manipulate, mansplain, male wife, big boobs. OCs, they are very lovey-dovey with each other eventually, but they have a lot of like stuff that they go through at the beginning, and she's kind of emotionally constipated and he's like very not emotionally constipated, so that is kind of them in a nutshell. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing these expressions. My main goal with this sketchbook was to get out of my digital art mindset, which was like very, I need everything to be extremely clean and extremely perfect. I struggle with that a lot in my digital art of, you know, oh, the anatomy needs to be perfect and this needs to make sense and da-da-da. And I just tried to be really, really loose with this and just let myself draw the way that just came to me. So yeah, a lot of these, like, they don't have finished feet, or they have really weird looking hands, or their positions aren't 100% anatomically accurate, but it helped me a lot with getting better in my digital art too by being super loose with it. This was done entirely with highlighters. These are colored pencil. I want to say that's Posca pen, but I don't think that's right. This also might be highlighters. But yeah, I tend to use Prismacolor pencils. These are Sharpie highlighters, and I think I have these other markers that I've been using. I don't exactly remember what type of markers they are, but I will see if I can remember. Yeah, this is another just doodle page. Alice, stream Carly Rae Jepsen on Spotify. I 100% promote that. And then this was around the time that Tokyo Mew Mew New was kind of wrapping up, so I was drawing a lot of like Keiichi and Ichigo at that time. This, I don't know what this art style is. I think it's cute. I drew this on a scrap piece of paper at work, and then I cut it out and put it in my sketchbook. This is like not my normal anatomy at all. I don't really know what happened with that. Okay. This is my Warrior of Light, Karis Amaryllis, and she is a Dark Knight. She is my Final Fantasy XIV character. I love bunny girls. Like, if I have the option to make an OC, I usually will opt for some sort of animal-eared girl. and I usually go toward Bunny because I have a connection with them. If I had to compare her to pre-existing characters in media, I would say Shinobu from Demon Slayer and Yuki Soma from Fruits Basket. She's very kind and approachable on the outside, but her inner monologue and her inner motivations are a little bit darker, maybe just not as pleasant, and so that's why she is a Dark Knight. Basically, I drew these when I was in a very not good mental state, and the next couple of pages you will kind of see that reflected. I feel like my art gets the most experimental and the most like out of whack in general when I'm not doing well, but like that's when I feel the most motivated to create. So like these next couple of pages I think I did in the span of like a day or two, like very back to back to back. This was just doodling, me trying to make myself feel better with like my OCs and stuff. This is Dimitri. This is kind of spoilers for my OC story, but not really. He is Caterpillar guy who just kind of pulls the strings along in certain ways with Alice, and yeah, I made her in a ballerina outfit and him kind of puppeteering her around because I felt very vulnerable when I drew this and very sad. And then I was listening to the song from Last Night in Soho, the Puppet on a String song. I like that song a lot. This is also when I was not in a very good place mentally. That's Alice, and she got stabbed with something. Oh no, and she kind of go bleh. So background is, I believe, Posca pens and alcohol markers. This is definitely Posca pen, and then this is all colored pencil, so I just wanted kind of like a big contrasting feeling to show how in pain I felt. And then these were my two primary emotions at the time, which was sad and mad, and then that's just Alice going, because she's overwhelmed, and that was how I felt when I was drawing these. Same with this one. I really feel like it shows in my face when I'm kind of off my whack emotionally. Like I do these weird teeth and like these really intense eyes, and yeah, so that's Cheshire, kind of with he's the Cheshire Cat, but he's also kind of based off of the Bandersnatch in the 2010 movie. So he turns into this like more cat-like werewolf form when he fights. So his arm is turning into that, and he's got these like spots on him when that happens. And he has these chains on like his neck and like arms and things that are concentrated with magic that help him retain his normal form. And then when he like breaks them off, that's when he goes into his crazy mode. So that's what that is. This is Jinx. She was going through some stuff plot-wise when I was drawing this. She is a giant dragon. This is my attempt at drawing a dragon. It does not at all look like a dragon. I don't know what the F this is. And alright, so fan art time, because I was like, oh, I gotta draw something other than my OCs. So again, this was the end of Tokyo Mew Mew New, and it was insane because they like, I don't want to say made this super minor couple canon, but like to me, that's what happened. They became pen pals at the end of the series, which was crazy to me. So this is Lettuce from Tokyo Mew Mew and Pie from Tokyo Mew Mew. This is Shinobu and this is Doma, and I love them, and I'm so excited for the new season of Demon Slayer, and we're getting closer and closer to their arc, and I'm just so excited to see that animated. They're my favorite part of Demon Slayer. I have a bit of a problem about them, but yeah. And then yeah, more Quiche and Ichigo stuff, because like I said, it was the end of Tokyo Mew Mew New. This was very like in my head at the time, and I got a bunch of new markers, I think, when I got this. Yes, this is when I got a bunch of markers, and I was doing like lining and stuff to try and be a little experimental. I like his face in this. I don't know that I like the placement of their faces together, but I think this is like kind of a fun drawing. This one I think is fun too. More OC stuff. This is Alice in her old like original outfit. It used to be very like sailor suit, like kind of a rip of just Tokyo Mew Mew Ichigo's outfit, but I made it like multicolored. So yeah, that's what this page is. This is just like kind of Daisuke having like a thought cloud of, because Alice spends a lot of time with Ace and they do a lot of studying, and he's like, oh, she's probably off like macking with him, and oh, he knows it pisses me off. So he never gets mad at Alice. He always gets mad at Ace, and he always gets mad at anyone else but Alice. He's like, yeah, he thinks she can do no wrong. So I was feeling a lot better mentally at this point too. I think you can kind of tell the transition from like these pages to these pages. These are, I guess, me trying to play with chibi proportions again. Like I am so bad with chibis, it's like not even funny. So I don't like these at all, but I was just like, I gotta do something. And this is my OC, Charlotte. She is the Mad Hatter in my universe. She's also one of the assassins, and she's like a ball-jointed doll, but like human size. I was in the mood to draw her because she's really cute and I like her. Yeah, she's got a lot of like kind of clowny motifs, but she's got a little tiny hat. She loves tea parties. Okay, yeah, so this is like July, June or July. This was when I went to the beach with my friend and there was a little crab there and I was like, I should probably try to do like a still life. I suck at landscapes really bad, but this was just me, you know, going around. This is my Asm, my Warrior of Light's previous incarnation, or first incarnation I should say, who was Emmett Silk, aka Hades' waifu. They were like married 10,000 years ago and now they kind of hate each other. I could go on for hours about my Warrior of Light and Emmett Silk, but I won't. This is just a spread of OC doodles. I was just playing with a bunch of new markers, I think. Charlotte, this is Ariel. He's a rat guy. He's also an assassin and he's based off of the Dormouse. And then yeah, these are just doodles. There's another comic that I don't know if I should explain it or just let it sit there and have people try to read it, I guess. There comes a point where she wants to start meeting up with him to like talk with him a little bit more in my story. And this is kind of like the first time they do it and he gets a little too excited in this panel. His face, I really like how I drew his face in this panel. I'll see if I can like put it somewhere like zoomed in because I don't know if you can see that. It's like one of my favorite faces I've ever drawn for him. And this is just a drawing of Cheshire and Jinx. I think it's a cute drawing. So again, I don't know what I should be saying, if anything, about these. Oh, these are my watercolor markers. Okay, yeah. So I had a bunch of traditional art supplies that I had not used since 2019 that I was like finding as I was going through these. So this was with my alcohol markers. As you can see in his legs, they were kind of dying. So I had to switch over to my Posca pens to do these. The three of them, and then Jinx and Cheshire, and they're very cute. This was when I was at an event selling, and I didn't know what to draw, so I just drew Jinx and Alice with like a color palette swap. This is Charlotte again. That's Damien. You can't really see him very well. He's very light drawing. And this is Ariel again. So these three are like a trio. So yeah. And there they are. So yeah, that's Damien. He's the March Hare. This is a spoiler for my story, I guess. Ariel and Charlotte. So yeah, March Hare, Dormouse, and Mad Hatter. And those are her two gay boyfriends. These are marker drawings of my dog because I was like, oh, I should try and like draw something that's not a person. So I used my alcohol markers. I drew the basic shape and colored it in, and then I used a ball jointed pen, a ball pointed pen, and I drew like the little details in it. Just Peach and Daisy. I like Nintendo princesses. They've always kind of been, they were the first thing that like motivated me to draw. I had a GameCube that my grandpa got me for my birthday, I think when I was like 9 or something. The first instance of me being like super motivated to draw was like pausing on the character screen, or not even pausing. I think like when you're just on the character select screen, it shows all the people. And I had both of them up and I drew them because I was like, they're so cool looking. I want to draw them. And I kinned Princess Daisy and I still never really have stopped. And here we are today and I'm almost 30. This was kind of similar to something I saw on someone else's sketchbook tour. I just thought it was cute. This is Alice and Charlotte. They don't interact too often, but they do get alone a couple of times. And I think they would get along and be friends if they hung out more. So just a page of them. This is Jinx. Just me trying to figure out how to fill up my pages, and I got these new markers that I wanted to try. I think it looks good. This is a drawing of Daisuke and Alice that a friend of mine did, and I will put her at somewhere on this page. because this was at the point where I'm like, this is like dragging out and I don't know if I can finish the sketchbook, but like I'm gonna finish the sketchbook. So this was just a page of colors, and then I eventually like drew a little doodle on it. It's really, really low effort. And then this was the end of last year when I started watching Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, which I think is a insanely underrated anime. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know if I can speak for the manga, but the anime was like so fun, and the English dub is so good, and Caligo is my like second favorite. Kirio is my favorite. I won't get into that, but Caligo is my second favorite, and he's voiced by Albert Wesker, like from freaking Resident Evil 5, which I think is awesome. I really enjoyed the show. I would highly recommend it. It's a very good show. More OC stuff. Oh yeah, this is definitely when I got those new markers. So like, yeah, these colors, like I never used these colors before. I was like, whoa, these are cool. Jinx and Cheshire as him in crazy sicko mode. Daisuke, and just some faces, and trying to do some like studies of him being flexible. I don't know how else to put that. And then this little upside down drawing of him being all grabby hands, like, because he's a weirdo. Okay, this is Alice in her preliminary form. This is how I drew her when I was like really little. She was like the same character, but like totally different. It didn't make sense in the lore of my story like at all, but I was just like, man, I should try drawing her the way that I did when I was like in 7th grade and see if I've improved at all. And obviously I have, but I'm like, what is this character design? And here we are. We were playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and by we, I mean my husband was playing it and I was watching it, and I was going crazy. I love Sephiroth and Cloud, and I love Puppetee dynamics, and they especially just make me feel like really crazy. So yeah, this is my Sephiroth and Cloud page. I don't know. More Nintendo princesses. These are all in highlighters. Again, this is like the end of my sketchbook, and I'm like, I'm getting through this. I'm gonna finish this sketchbook whether I want to or not. And then these were Sharpie. And then I was like, maybe I should just draw some more fan art because I've been drawing my OC so much. I finished Magic Knight Rayearth and I cried. It was beautiful. I loved it. And then I watched the OVA, and that was crazy. Yeah, the OVA was like 3 episodes long, and they all went to like Catholic school, and they had totally different uniforms, and it was just like, it was a bit darker than the anime and the game were. Like, they're very goofy, like clampy, and I loved these two together. And then Ferio in the OVA is like kind of evil, but he's like into her, and I'm like, oh, that is so my dynamic. So I went a little bonkers for them for a little bit, and then Black Butler season 4 started. I am a Black Butler girly, like, at heart. It was one of the first anime, like, one of the first animes that, like, I really, really, really got into. That wasn't just, like, you know, like a 4Kids adaptation of something. Yeah, I got so into Black Butler, and this dress obviously is iconic. CL Grell, she obviously is iconic. Sebastian as a tutor, iconic. I'm really enjoying the Weston School arc. It's animated really well. I'm losing my mind at J. Michael Tatum being back as Sebastian, and Brianna Palencia. Like, they are killing it. It is truly the anime renaissance of the 2010s. Okay, and this is the final 2 pages, which, again, I think you can kind of tell I was like at my wit's end of like, I need to finish this sketchbook because I just really, really was like, I want to finish this. So just more OC drawings. Alice and Ace again, Cheshire, Daisuke in the corner, and whatever that is. And then this is Jinx with like horns, because I was like, oh, she's a dragon, like what if she had horns? And this was just me encapsulating how I felt finishing this, because he's a manipulator and he holds her kind of hostage, and I'm like, I felt held hostage by this sketchbook, but I'm gonna write thank you, and I'm gonna be like, oh yay, it's all done and whatever. So yeah, I finished the sketchbook on May 8th of this year, despite starting it in March of last year. So it took me a very long time, and this, yeah, I glued this page to the back page because I was like, I don't even want to fill another like last page. This is gonna be my last page. This is in general like the way that I do my sketchbooks now. I started another sketchbook very recently. Ta-da! This is my new sketchbook. So this is the type of sketchbook that I normally feel like comfortable drawing in. The render company, something must have happened because these were the only sketchbooks I could get for like a few years after the pandemic was this size. I don't like big pages. I have like trouble filling them up. This is like the perfect size for me. It's like hand sized. It's hardcover and it's a little difficult to like keep open sometimes, but I love these sketchbooks because they do not bleed through. Like if I had to recommend, I know they try to do like the Ohuhu stuff and all the TikTok bullcrap. I don't believe it. I tried to get one of those and like I fell into it and it just, I didn't like it. So Render, R-E-N-D-R sketchbook, they are a little pricey, but I promise you they are so worth it if you're a person that's like, I want to fill up every single like page in my sketchbook. And I only have like 2 pages of stuff in here so far. So just this little color pencil thing of Alice and then this spread of Daisuke, Ace, and Alice. And like, I don't know, I feel like I just can fill the space up so much better in these. So I've been enjoying this a lot. And yeah, I'll probably, hopefully, it'll take me less than a year to fill this and then do a video on it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my first sketchbook tour. I hope to have many more in the future. Maybe not many more, but at least one more in the future. I would love to get back to the point that I was in 2019 where I could fill up like 3 of these in a year. That would be awesome. So yeah, if you got this far, let me know what you think. If you would like for me to do like an old sketchbook tour video where I just kind of show highlights from my older sketchbooks, or like a supply video. I don't know. I'm trying to think of things to put on this YouTube channel, but I would like them to all kind of remain art related. So yeah, thanks for watching and I hope you have a great day.